Darwinism is a religion to the global power elite, who do believe themselves superior to the masses of humanity. Humanism and transhumanism were clever disguises, created specifically so that global eugenics operations could be carried out without being noticed. Insiders referred to their continued work as crypto-eugenics, as they were carried out covertly. Prominent among this crowd was the grandson of Charles Darwin, Charles Galton Darwin, a distinguished Fellow of the Royal Society and President of the British Eugenics Society. In 1952, his book The Next Million Years was published. In it, he describes 5 great revolutions throughout human history, the 5th of which had not yet happened, but when it did, it would kickstart the next million years of human evolution. This 5th revolution would involve using science to alter human nature itself, possibly creating a race of supermen. This, of course, is the familiar transhumanist ideal of the post-human. If man is really a tame animal, there is no reason why breeds of man should not be created. Although, Galton Darwin was skeptical of this point, because he believed that man is untamable. He goes on to illustrate this point with a hypothetical story of an island in which a visionary director gathers a variety of highly skilled people and institutes a social Darwinistic breeding program. Members of the island breed with each other based on their unique talents, intelligence, or beauty. For instance, 2 athletic people would give birth to a new generation of superior athletes. The population would become tame, but the island's director would not. Though it might conceivably be possible to tame the majority of mankind, this could only be done by leaving untamed a minority of the population. Moreover, this minority would have to be the group possessing the most superior qualities of all. The message is clear. Darwin is legitimizing the elite ruling class, which he himself is a part of. The 3rd tenet of Darwinism, that sexual instinct causes conflict, is also addressed in this book. Galton Darwin offers up a scientific solution. With the knowledge of the various sexual hormones, it might also become possible to free the majority of mankind from the urgency of sexual impulse, so that they could live contented, celibate lives. He goes on and on about how the struggle for survival will cause global conflict, and that eugenics operations will be a necessity to control population growth. He applauds China for its long history of civil services, which predate those of Europe by millennia. China is described as the model type of civilization for a world which will ultimately be unified through technology. Galton Darwin has a fascination with insects, stating that humans should resemble workers in an anthill. He goes on to say, "There might be a drug which, without other harmful effects, removed the urgency of sexual desire, and so reproduced in humanity the status of workers in a beehive." It is this human beehive which has been the ideal society in the eyes of elites for a very long time. This will be the template for post-humanity, the ultimate slave race, scientifically designed to never rebel. The transhumanists have a popular term, Hive Mind, which refers to the giant collective intelligence which will be created when people the world over link their brains together with technology. Their general belief is that this new experience will be wonderful, creating a whole new superintelligence through symbiotic existence. In reality, the hive mind will be Galton Darwin's beehive, the creation of the new man, which has been written about for many years.
I'm totally convinced that the human race is being mutated according to a scientific method. We know that there has been experiments done as far back as the 1920s and 30s of trying to crossbreed animals with humans. The Germans were doing that.
All the main eugenicists, Margaret Sanger, H.G. Wells, the Princes, Prince Bernhard, said they're going to make two different species, and then BBC, while I was making the film, showed this little goblin creature that we're going to be, and then they're going to be these beautiful blonde-haired, blue-eyed people, and they hate us so much, they want to make themselves better than us, so they actively want to kill most of us, and then have a clown goblin creature that they call the old humans that they laugh at.
That's exactly right.
We know the GMO food's changing our genetics. We know we're genetically getting dumber, not just chemically. Go ahead. This is massive, folks.
That's right. That's what I've been looking at for 48 years, the complete transformation and transmutation of the human spirit into a whole new kind of creature.
Transhumanism fills people's minds with hopes and dreams of becoming superhuman. But the fact of the matter is that the true goal is the removal of that pesky human sexual urge, and ultimately, of free will itself. Post-humanity will be a new human which has been genetically engineered and brain-chipped for total control. Part man and part machine, the new man will no longer be in need of his sexual reproductive function. I understand that this is not what the average transhumanist wants to hear, but we must realize that such a bizarre and horrific future is not only possible, it is intended. Although we won't arrive at this point overnight, first we must step into the world of virtual reality, where our identity as purely human will blend with that of our new virtual persona.
In virtual reality, you can be someone else. You don't have to be the same boring person all the time. I mean, you all have these personalities inside you that don't quite fit with your bodies in real reality. So basically, most people just, kill them all off. Some people don't actually keep any of their personalities, which reminds me of some of my old boyfriends, but that's another story.
And you read the eugenicists, you read the government plans, they are now doing it, inserting us into a matrix. You're being sucked into your iPhone, sucked into your video games, you're already interfacing.
By 2020, there'll be an entire three-dimensional universe in cyberspace, with virtual countries and governments, virtual schools and universities, virtual property and stock markets, and virtual families and friends.
Virtual reality is going to become more and more like real reality, but have the advantage that I can share a virtual reality environment with someone else, even if they're hundreds of miles apart, and we can be in the same environment, and we can be other people, and we can change environments quickly, and it has a lot of advantages over real reality.
I think in 10 years, things like Second Life will become as prevalent as email is now. And I think virtual worlds will become a similar way for people to get together, communicate, collaborate.
I can see in the future that it's going to be so much more capable than it is today, and I'm going to love it.
If a machine is passing down signals that keep you completely happy, then why not be part of the Matrix? I really do think Neo in the Matrix trying to destroy things, he's a bit of a party pooper. Life for humans in a Matrix could be really cool.